Alycat's Indie Viewers. So today is part 2 of my April 2017 favorites. If you're new to the channel and don't know what favorites are, this is where I split my favorites into 2 parts every month because I have way too many favorites and I cover movies and books and music and TV shows and games and YouTubers and all that great jazz. So without further ado, let's get into my favorites. First up, a book I loved was American Gods by Neil Gaiman. This is being turned into a TV series on Starz, so I wanted to read this before the TV series came out, and it's amazing. It's about how a man named Shadow Moon is caught up in a war between the old gods like Odin, Loki, Easter, and the new gods, Technical Boy, Media, et al., and he is stuck in between. He has to figure out which side he wants to be on, and he has to try to discover who he really is. And this book explores faith and religion and what we would do for the people we love. And I have a full written review on my blog, alycatgeekery.com, for this. If you want to see that, I'll have it linked down below. But I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I do highly recommend it. It is a hunker of a book. It's so addicting that I kept flipping the pages, and it went by in the blink of an eye. Now moving on to movies, I am still doing the 365-day film challenge, so if you want to see the movies I don't mention, or see the written reviews for the movies I do mention, they're all listed on my blog, which is linked down below. But first up, I want to mention Patterson. This is the latest film from Jim Jarmusch, and it stars Adam Driver as a man named Patterson who lives in Patterson, New Jersey. And Patterson chronicles the life of the man Patterson over a week. So you see every day of this week he is a bus driver, and every day he drives his bus, he writes poetry, he visits his wife at home, who is a stay-at-home wife who is constantly redecorating it. She wants to sell cupcakes and become a country singer, and he walks their dog, he goes to the bar. The day repeats the next day with minute differences. And this is a slice of life film that is just so enthralling. Adam Driver is so good as Patterson. And this is one of those films that you're either going to love and think is just so well done and beautiful, or you're going to be like, oh my god, nothing's happening, this is so boring. Nothing's happening besides I'm watching this man live his life. So if you're in the former category and you really like arty movies and movies that kind of just show you a glimpse into someone else's life, I think you'll really enjoy Patterson. If you're in the latter category, you'll probably want to skip this because you're going to find it boring. But I personally really enjoyed Patterson and thought it was fantastic. The next film is The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and this is another Wes Anderson film, and it stars Bill Murray as Steve Zissou, who is currently promoting his latest film where one of his dear friends was eaten by a jaguar shark. So he is filming another film where he's trying to find the said shark that killed his friend and take his revenge on the shark. And along the way you meet his motley cast of crew members, and it's just quirky Wes Anderson fun. It's got that sense of humor that is well known in Anderson's films. It's full of bright primary colors. There's a lot of shots of the characters looking directly into the camera, and there's just amazing dialogue. Just like in every other Anderson film I've seen. It was fantastic. I loved it. It's quirky. If you're into Anderson films, definitely check out The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou because it's so entertaining. Next up is Being John Malkovich, and I freaking adore this movie. It is extremely weird because it was written by Charlie Kaufman and directed by Spike Jonze. It stars John Cusack as a man who takes a job at a place where he is working on the 7.5th floor of a building, and he finds this portal that allows him to enter the body of John Malkovich, the actor, played by John Malkovich. And he and his wife Lottie, who is played by Cameron Diaz, both fall in love with a woman he works with named Maxine, and they use John Malkovich's body to have sex with her. And of course, there's so many complications that arise from this. It's a darkly funny movie, it's touching, it's unique, and that's what I loved about it. I loved the fact that it was so weird and so different. And if you think that sounds interesting, definitely check out Being John Malkovich. It's really a thought-provoking film, and it's just so wonderfully done. Next up is Hacksaw Ridge. I didn't expect to love this film as much as I did. Andrew Garfield was so great as Desmond Doss, and I actually felt myself tearing up while watching this movie. I didn't cry, but I had tears stinging the back of my eyeballs, I had a lump in my throat, and this is of course based on the true story of Desmond Doss, who was a Seventh-day Adventist who entered the war, but he refused to handle a gun, but he ended up saving so many men's lives over one night in Okinawa, and it's just so inspiring. And yeah, there were some moments where I felt like maybe his backstory could have been fleshed out a bit more, his marriage with Dorothy could have been fleshed out more, But the overall story is very inspirational. Again, Andrew Garfield's fantastic, as well as Vince Vaughn, Luke Bracey, Teresa Palmer. So many actors are great in this, but especially Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving is phenomenal in this film. And Mel Gibson really has a strong directorial eye. I know he's controversial, but this is a fantastic film and it's very important to watch. I finally watched Planet Terror, the second half of the Grindhouse feature films, and I actually love this way more than Death Proof. Planet Terror was so much fun. I'm a huge Robert Rodriguez fan, and yeah, it's silly and nonsensical. It's a funny, fresh take on the zombie genre, and I loved it. I loved Sherry Darling. I love seeing all the amazing actors and actresses in this film. And I love just seeing Rodriguez's typical balls to the wall action, explosions, funny dialogue. It's just a film that is campy and fun, and it knows it's campy and fun and cheesy, and it just revels in that, and it's just it's so good. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Next up is a film that I didn't expect to love as much as I did, but that's The Voices. This was directed by Marjane Satrapi, stars Ryan Reynolds, Gemma Arterton, and Anna Kendrick. And it's about a man who is working a typical blue-collar job, but the thing about this man is he can talk to his pets. His dog and his cat talk to him, he talks back to them, and one day he accidentally murders the character played by Gemma Arterton, and her talking head talks to him. So this explores his mental illness. It's funny in a very dark, black, twisted way, and it's very well done. I was surprised by how beautifully shot this film was, especially considering the material that Marjane Satrapi was working with, and this is actually one of Ryan Reynolds' best performances. So if you like quirky, captivating indie comedies with black humor, definitely check out The Voices. Another film I found really charming was Hello, My Name is Doris. This was directed by Michael Showalter and stars Sally Field and Max Greenfield, and it's about a woman named Doris whose mother has recently passed away, and she develops a crush on her coworker who is 30 years younger than she is, and she is convinced that he loves her just as much as she loves him. It's just really charming and endearing seeing Sally Field play Doris, who hasn't really grown up, and seeing her fall in love with Max Greenfield's character, and just seeing how she discovered herself and becomes friends with all these young people. And it's just a really charming film. And the last film I really enjoyed over the past couple of weeks was The Impossible. This is directed by J.A. Bayona, and it's based on the true story of the tsunamis that hit Thailand. It stars Naomi Watts and Ewan McGregor and Tom Holland, and it's a very brutal look at this tragedy. It's very realistic. And this is a film that people have fainted while watching it, so be warned that it does show a lot of gore, a lot of graphic material, but it's a very important film and never feels gratuitous, and the acting is superb and the visuals are just stunning. J.A. Bayona is a director who has such a fantastic eye for visuals, and The Impossible is just such a powerful film. The last thing I loved this month was The White Queen. This was a mini-series on Starz. I actually filmed a video about this, so keep an eye out for it. But if you like Outlander and Game of Thrones, you'll love The White Queen. And all the music I loved is in the playlist down below, so give the songs a listen and let me know what you think. If you like this video, leave a like. Let me know what your favorites have been so far in the comment box down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you want to be, hit my face over here, and also make sure to hit that notification bell so you're part of the Alycat notification squad. It'll get extra cool points. And also, if you like the video, make sure to share it because that helps my channel grow. And if you'd like to follow me on social media sites, they're all listed in the description box down below. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and kisses. Bye.